This is absolutely everything you need to know to build a profitable SMMA and start making 10 to 20K a month. I've helped multiple brands scale from 6 to 7 figures, and in this video, I'm going to give you guys a full course on how you can do it yourself. So without further ado, let's jump into it. In this video, I'm going over exactly why freelance brand scaling is probably one of the best business opportunities in 2025. There's so many stores every day getting created. There's so many clothing brands, jewelry brands, and just overall e-commerce stores getting created every single day. And it's easier than ever to market on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And it's so easy to scale using paid ads or organic growth. So many brands are struggling right now to turn their traffic into sales, and they really need some expert help. And this business is extremely low startup cost. You can start this with no money. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a step-by-step breakdown on how you can find clients, how you can run profitable ad campaigns, and how you can start scaling your business and hitting 10K per month easily. I'm going to do a full guide on setting up your agency, targeting clothing brands, e-commerce businesses, or any brand in general. You don't have to stick to clothing brands. This is essentially just SMMA, which is social media marketing. You can work with realtors, you can work with landscapers, you can work with anything. You can work with car dealerships, right? And I'm also going to be showing you exactly how you guys can start charging premium rates once you have case studies. So yeah, here's a bit of my personal experience and why I'm teaching this. Like, you may be wondering, who is this guy? Why should I listen to him? Well, over the past 2 years, I've been running SMMA, and I make on average around 10, 15K per month. I'm pulling in insane numbers like this for my clients. So in the past 90 days, he's made $941,342. I'm going to be giving you guys all the lessons I've learned, all the mistakes I've made, and I'm going to try and help you guys avoid some of the common pitfalls that you're going to run into when running an agency. So let's start off with what is brand scaling. So as I said earlier, brand scaling is just helping e-commerce businesses or clothing brands increase revenue using paid ads or organic growth or other social media strategies like SMS marketing, email marketing. But yeah, it's essentially just like a freelance version of SMMA. You don't need a big team, you just need a laptop, but later down the line, you can kind of turn it into more of an agency. But to start off, you don't need anything. There's 3 different models. So you could either do a retainer model, a revenue share model, or a hybrid model. So the retainer model is you charge at least 1 to 2K a month to start off with. For higher brands, you could charge like 5K per month, and you're basically just managing the ads. So this gives you steady income and allows you to grow. And if you lock them in with contracts, then that's basically confirmed income for your year. So you have like a set salary. You could do a revenue share model. So you're earning like 5 to 10% of the sales that you make running the ads for them. It's higher risk for you, especially if you don't really know what you're doing. You're probably not going to make much money to start, but it's also easier for someone to say yes to that because you're only going to make money if they make money. So they're not putting up anything up front. And then there's the hybrid model. So that's charging a small monthly fee plus a percentage of revenue. This gives them a very low cost and also ensures that you earn as they scale. So yeah, here's how you can make 5 to 10K per month with just a few clients. What you want to do is you want to work with high quality brands that value results. Don't work with one of these Instagram brands that's only here to make a quick buck. You want to work with someone who actually has a long-term vision for their brand. And if you find a really good brand like that that's willing to work with you, structure your pricing around them. That relationship is worth more than whatever your retainer is. If you can keep that long term, once they start doing $1 million a month, you're going to be making a ton of money. You need to leverage automation and start outsourcing. You can't spend all your time sending DMs when you could be spending your time getting better results for your clients, and that's more money in your pocket. If you want to make steady income, then focus on retainer-based pricing. If you want to scale up to 30K a month plus, then you have to switch to rev share. That's the only way you're going to hit that because you can't work with over 20 clients a month. It's just too hard to manage. So here's how you can find the right brands to work with. So as I said earlier, you don't want to just work with anyone. You want to work with a brand that already has some sort of organic traction or organic sales, because the ideal brand has great products but just lacks paid marketing. Maybe they're not going viral on TikTok, or maybe they're going viral on TikTok and they want to scale their revenue and make more, so they want to run some paid ads. So I found the ideal client tends to be between 18 and 44 years old. They have at least 260K followers on their main page. Anyone above that, they're probably not going to reach out to you. And the brand must have at least 7,000 followers and be posting consistently. Personal account, I say 200 because you want to make sure they're actually like a real person. But yeah, when it comes to finding the brand owner, a lot of brands don't follow the owner and keep it anonymous. And in that case, when you cannot find the brand owner, then I would DM the brand page. But as I said, we want to get the highest response rate possible. And the best response rate is going to be when we DM the owner over when we DM the brand, especially if we're going to say their name in the message. That just builds trust with them. And they're going to be more likely to open the message. Don't try to reach out with brands with over 130K followers. The owners either are too stuck in their ways with the agency they've been working with, or they are just too Hollywood to get back to you. So you want to make sure that the brand has posted in the past 2 months. You want to make sure, I don't really like working with brands that do drops. I prefer working with brands that always have something live and are always restocking, because they're going to make more money, and that means you're going to make more money, right? And you want to make sure they're posting reels. If they're not posting reels, if they're not posting reels, you can come in and start making their content for them. But honestly, you want to just, preferably, they want to already have some very good engagement. So here's some good examples of what their post could look like. You want to have some very high quality photos on a blank background. As you can see, they have some reels here, and their reels are getting really good engagement. Then here we can see they're getting a lot of likes, a lot of engagement, nice high quality photos, and they're posting a lot of reels. They seem to have influencers in it as well. And that's exactly what you want to see. Now, here's some bad post examples. We don't want to work with these brands because they have really low quality photos, no views and engagement, and they're barely even posting. Look at this. They're just posting random pictures. They have random people in their brand. They aren't taking their brand seriously. Just look, what is this hoodie? What is this hat? No one's wearing this. They're just posting rappers. They get no views. This is a brand you wouldn't want to work with. And this one as well, 13 likes. No one's buying these t-shirts. So these are some brands that you would not want to work with because they're probably not making any money. And if they're not making money, they have no money to pay you. So here's some things to look out for when you're reaching out to the brand owner. You want to see if they have any cars, watches, lifestyle content. You want to see if they actually have money. Look for high quality photos taken by a photographer or a videographer, color graded or edited, because that means that they have money and they're okay with investing to build out their personal brand or build out their brand. Most brand owners will follow themselves on their brand account, or their main account will have their brand in bio. So here's the best way to find clients. So on Instagram and TikTok, you can look up for brands that are active but not running any ads. Facebook groups, a lot of brand owners talk in Facebook or Discord about their marketing struggles. If you can come in there and offer them a solution, you're going to make money. Shopify stores, you can use Shopify Exchange and brand directories and find growing stores and reach out to them. You can do the Etsy method, where you go on Etsy and you'll look at some stores that don't have a website and you'll pitch them and be like, hey, I can set up your website, we can set up some paid ads, and you can scale. You're already making money on Etsy. What's saying you can't make money elsewhere? Another method right here, you can go on TikTok, you can search up clothing brand, go to the brand's Instagram, and then check through the following list to find the brand owner if the brand owner isn't already there. So I'm going to show you guys right now live what it would look like. So you can type in clothing, right? And we'll see, look, there's a bunch of brands here. There's Logo Zip here, 600 likes, 7K followers. They seem to be getting decent views here and there. So I would go over on Instagram and I'll check out this brand, see if they've posted anything. Yeah, so they have 9K followers. They have pretty good engagement. So this could be a brand that you would reach out to because likely they have money to invest. I just found a brand right there that would be perfect for reaching out to for ads. And then you can also go over to Instagram again, and we can type in hashtag clothing. Hashtag clothing brand. We can find a bunch of brands here. So this video has 187,000 likes, 15K followers. They're doing pre-orders, so I'm not sure if I would want to work with them because they're doing pre-orders, but the product seems really cool, and this could be someone you'd want to reach out to. That they're following the owner, I assume, as well. Yeah, so they're following the owner, so you could easily reach out and you could DM them and be like, hey, so it looks like 2 people are on the brand, and you could DM both of them and pitch them. And that would be a great way to offer your service to this client. If they have poor branding and a very weak product market fit, you don't want to work with them. If they have no real demand or no repeat customers, they don't even have a business. If you have no repeat customers, you don't have a business, and that's someone you don't want to work with. If the brand owner doesn't see marketing as an investment and they don't want to spend money on ads, they're okay just posting organic, that's someone you wouldn't want to work with. Businesses that only rely on influencer promotions without actually having a long-term strategy and just in it for just a quick bag, you don't want to work with them as well because they're not serious about their business. So here's how you can get clients. Here's a few strategies that work in 2025. So the first way is cold DMs on Instagram and TikTok. So TikTok DMs don't really work as well as Instagram. So I would definitely do, as I said earlier, reach out to the brand owner and not the brand. And you could even send them a personalized video. Just pick up Instagram on your phone, send them a video, be like, hey, I love the brand. I love all the products. Would it be cool if I send you a quick video on how I made this client this much money in this many days? And you could literally just do that. And more than likely, you're going to get a response, right? Another strategy is cold emailing. Cold emailing is not the best strategy on this list, but you can use Hunter.io to find the brand owner's email. But yeah, cold emails, I personally don't do it. I found it doesn't work that well. Another great way is networking. Now, this doesn't necessarily just have to be in Facebook groups or Discord. You can just network overall. When you meet someone, who has a clothing brand, make sure you let them know that you do brand scaling. Even if you don't do brand scaling at the time you meet them, even if you're just getting into it, you don't have good results, just let them know, hey, I do brand scaling, bro. If you ever need it, let me know. Just building those connections really does help. And then you can also do warm outreach. So you want to engage with brands on social media before you pitch them. Make sure that you've been commenting and liking on their posts and they see you as a noticeable face. Even if you do that on the brand, on the owner's Instagram, they're going to be more likely to take notice of that than the brand, because they probably have a ton of people commenting on the brand. So here's a cold DM script that you can use that, if you have results, will work well. You could be like, hey, how's the brand going? Would it be cool if I send you a quick video on how I made this brand, this result in this time frame, right? And I like to follow up every single day for 14 days because persistence gets results. For your follow-ups, you want to message them from your DM inbox. So when you go on your phone and you press the message button in the top right, you want to message them again from there instead of going on their profile and DMing them again. Otherwise, it's going to count as a new DM. It's going to pop up in the requests again. You want to find them in the DM inbox from the previous message that you send and message them there. So if they say they haven't had time to watch your video, be like, hey, I understand. If you want, I can give you a quick call and run down the whole process in like 2-3 minutes, and then follow up from there. As I said, every single day you're going to want to follow up. So if they said yes to watching the video, you could be like, did you get a chance to watch it? Just wondering if you managed to take a look. There's a lot of value in the video, and I think it would really help you out. If they still haven't responded, you guys can pause here. I'm not going to go through all of these. There's like 14 follow-ups here. But yeah, now it's going to be hard to get your first client. If you have no case studies, you have no results at all, it's going to be very, very hard. So what you want to do is you want to offer free trials. Offer free trials if the client covers ad spend. You don't want to be out of pocket, especially if you're not good at running ads. You don't want to cover the ad spend yourself because you're more than likely going to lose money. Instead, you could offer like a low cost trial. So be like, hey, I can run your ads for a month for $200 or $500. You could do that for a month or a 2-week test. And if you have no past case studies, it's okay. You can just sell them your strategy and ask them for a shot and just make their risks very, very low. So that way, they're going to be likely to work with you. When it comes to actually running ads for the brands, Facebook and TikTok ads are the best platforms in 2025. So Facebook ads is really good for retargeting and high-ticket purchases. Not so much with clothing brands, but for other brands like jewelry brands, Facebook is a great way to go. It's the best for virality and cold audience engagement. So if you're just starting off, TikTok ads is really good. But the best pair is TikTok ads and Instagram ads. Instagram ads is essential for any streetwear, fashion, lifestyle sort of brand. Any brand that's going to be with people within the ages of 18 to 34 as your target audience, Instagram and TikTok is the place to go. When it's an older audience, then you want to go to Facebook. And Google Ads works for all ages. And it's really good for scaling beyond just regular social media traffic. Here's a winning ad strategy for brands. So the first thing is creatives. Your creative is your ad, the piece of content that you're going to be running the ads on, right? UGC works really well. It performs well in every single niche, and it's what people trust the most. People want to see like a review of a product, and they're more likely going to check out than an ad that's thrown in their face. When it comes to testing creatives, there's multiple different types of creatives. Here's some of the top brands out right now. So we have Ditch. As you can see, they have very high quality photos, right? They're not all going to load right now. My service isn't the greatest, but yeah, they have really high quality photos. As you can see here, they have lay flats on a concrete background, and then this is a fake concrete background. But this is content that works really well for ads. Concrete background, as you can see, model shots with a cool background, studio shots, another cool background, lay flats. All of these creatives work really well. There's that. And then also when it comes to reels, it really does depend on the brand, but just small things like this, cuts every few seconds, tends to work really well for especially streetwear brands. So once over here, you'll start a new campaign, and you always want to start with website conversions because you want to try and get as many sales as possible. Campaign name, let's say we're selling jeans, we can just do it as jeans. And then you want to set the budget at $100 a day to start, because TikTok, you kind of do need a bit more to spend on testing. And then for the ad group, you just do it wherever your demographic is. So I'm going to do 18 to 34 male. And you can connect your pixel. I'm not going to do that because I'm not actually setting up the ad. And then only want to run ads on TikTok. And then, as I said, 18 to 34. So you can deselect all of these. And then I said male. So we do male. And then do $20 a day budget. And then you want to start the next day at midnight. And then I do day parting. So I want to do it from 6 a.m. to midnight as well, because that's when people are most likely to actually make a purchase. And then you can press continue. Now, this is where you're going to actually upload your creative. So this is really all that goes into setting up the campaign on TikTok, and you want to make 4 copies of the ad group because, as I said, it's going to be $100 campaign budget, and then each ad group is going to have $20. So by making 4 ad groups, you're going to be able to hit that $100 spend, and each one of these ad groups is going to target a slightly different audience, and then you can scale the one that works the best. And when it comes to meta ads, this is how I would create a campaign. So again, you want to do for sales. So you'll go in here over our sales and you'll create a manual sales campaign. Advantage Plus does work sometimes, but to start off, I would definitely just test it without any of this. And then you want to have an Advantage Plus budget off, all this stuff, just turn it off. And then you go over to the ad set level. I normally name this the same, like 1834 male. And then website and shop, if you have shop set up, then you convert a bit better. And then you'll create your you'll set up your pixel, you'll link your pixel, and then optimize for conversions. And then you can start with like a smaller budget on Facebook, like $10 a day. And then I'll do the same thing. I start at 12, like midnight the next day. And then, yeah, you can switch to original audience options. I find it works better. So you can actually select your targeting. So that would be 18 to 34, like I said. And then we can do male too. And then the placements, I like to do my own placements. So I'll do manual placements, and I don't want to do it on Facebook because no one's really on Facebook between the ages of 18 and 34. And then you can go to your ad set level, and then you can create your ad, upload your creative and everything like that. And then again, you can go over here and you can duplicate it and create 4 different copies. So it all targets a slightly different audience, and then you can scale whichever one works the best. That's kind of all that goes into setting up the ads, and then all you have to worry about after that is just optimizing them and continuously scaling them up every single day. Pricing and scaling. So how much to charge and how to justify it. So when you're just starting out, as I said, you want to do free trials, but once you have some case studies, you can start charging between 1 and 2K a month per client. I would start off with 1K for your first few clients and just build it up. See if you can actually keep them, and if you have a good relationship with them, then you can start asking for referrals, and then you can start to slowly increase your pricing. And then when you get more experienced and you actually start working with higher tier brands and getting really good results, then you can start charging between 3 and 5K a month. Or you could do a revenue share model, which is honestly best for the high ticket brands, because those brands they're going to make a lot of money and they're going to continue to scale. So every month your revenue is most likely going to go up. And I would only hire a media buyer once you have, I said it here is 3 clients, but I would honestly only start hiring out once you have at least 5 clients. Yeah, you can just save a lot of time because it's hard to manage ads for like 5 different brands at once. And you also want to be able to provide the best quality for your clients also. And then you can also hire people to send your DMs for you, because there's no point in you sending DMs if you can be working on getting better results for your clients. And I would use tools like Zapier, and I use Slack to talk to my team and just to like optimize all the workflows. You could outsource even creatives for ad production. So if you want to get someone to make the creatives for you, and then you can charge your clients for that kind of brings something off their plate, and then you can charge them a bonus for that. And then really transitioning from freelance to agency owner, it's honestly the same thing. Just focus on just getting more clients, and then you can build a team to handle stuff that you don't want to do, and you can kind of sit back and just overview everything instead of being hands-on. Now here's why most people fail and how you can actually stay consistent. So most people fail because they quit too soon. This isn't a type of business model that you can just put 1 or 2 months of effort in and see results. You actually need to put at least 9 months of work in to see results. You may not even get it in the first 9 months. It may take you a year, it may take you 2 years, but I can guarantee that if you stick with it, you're going to make money. Another reason why people fail is because they don't niche down. You have to pick a niche. So my niche is clothing brands, but you have to pick something that works for you. It's something you're interested in, and a niche that you can come in and fill a gap in the market. And another issue is a lot of people focus on getting clients instead of keeping them. It's way easier to keep a client than it is to get a new one. And you'll hit 10K a month faster by keeping all the clients you get than constantly chasing to find a new client every month. Because reality is you're probably not going to get a new client every month. All my success really comes down to, having faith and being disciplined in my entrepreneurship. There's many times where I've made a lot of money and then I've lost it all because my priorities were in the wrong place and I wasn't focused on God. Proverbs 16 verse 3 says, commit your works to the Lord and your plans will succeed. And I think I wasn't submitting my works to the Lord, and that's why my business was failing. But once you start to commit your works to the Lord, you're going to see your life will change, and just trust in God's plan. So here's how you can start getting your first client. So the first thing to do is you want to pick a niche and then create a client list. So I'm going to leave a link in the description of a leads tracker where you can put all your information in. You can put in all the information of all the brands you're reaching out to, how many follow-ups you've done. And I want you to send 100 messages every single day. If you're sending like a personalized video, you only have to send around 10, 20 a day, because it does take a lot longer. But if you send 100 messages every single day for 3 months, you will get a client. There's no way you don't get a client if you continue optimizing your script and you actually have a good offer. There's no way you won't get a client. So yeah, all you have to do, offer some value, go close your first deal, start running ads. And yeah, don't be afraid to get a mentorship or a course. I'm not selling a course to anyone, but I will admit I had a mentorship when I first started, and it definitely helped me fast track my success. I could definitely get to 10K a month without the mentorship, but the mentorship allowed me to get there faster. So if you're someone that wants to save time, then definitely do that. Like, think, people go to university and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a degree just to not get a job, and you're scared of spending 5K to learn from someone who's actually built a business. Your professors, your business professors, never had a business before. They just got a business degree and now they're teaching you. I think it's better to learn hands-on from someone who's actually done it firsthand. And I think that's how you're going to start seeing really good results. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.